Let me go make sure we're live. You tell me if we're live. How we looking? Because I don't see it yet.
Yeah, not yet. I don't see anything yet.
Let's see, we live.
All right, we're on now.
Are we on now? Beautiful. Yeah. All right, let me turn this down. We're gonna be on the YouTube chat. YouTube chat.
I think that was my. I didn't realize my tablet was.
Yeah.
The volume was up.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to mute the second tab. All right, so what's up with, before we get into the discussion, just waiting for a couple people. We got 3 people live in the chat, but just a little catch up. John, what you up to, brother?
I'm just looking at some baseball cards.
Wait, hold on. Do you know what I like to do when PWCC gets caught for shill bidding? I like to go live with New Rock TV.
I'm telling you guys, I have been saying that for years, because I would go on there and I'd always get outbid, and these prices would just go like beyond where you need to go. So I discovered this on my own many years ago. And so I would get outbid, and then you go on and you find another seller with a card in even maybe a grade higher that sells for far less. And you'll have 4 other options. And so I would find myself, after I got outbid there, going and picking the card up for cheaper than I was even bidding.
Right.
Man, you guys, I was going to do a big old introduction, and you guys just jumped into it. Yeah, you guys can't wait to talk about it.
We'll wait for you. God.
Oh, good. We got 4 people. I mean, they'll catch up later. But golly, talk about a bomb again. You know, if you watch the 2019 National, the big thing at that time was Slabgate, and it was a big deal when PWCC had a booth at the National, and Eric, you know, those back pages famously wore that shirt, Slabgate, and you know, at that time, every content creator wanted to do some type of interview, questions with any employee from PWCC, because for those who don't know, new to the hobby, this is not the first time PWCC has been entangled in some kind of mess in the hobby. They were tied to, you know, Edward Scissorhands, trimming cards, doctoring cards, and correct me if I'm wrong, John or James, but they had like a back deal handshake with a couple people at PSA, some employees, where, you know, was they'll send cards, obvious cards, and you could check, you know, I forgot his YouTube channel, but you know, they'll find 52 manuals, different types of manuals that were graded lower, like 4s and 5s, and they will point out all these
imperfections or alterations,
qualifiers, and find that same card in a new slab 2 grades higher, sometimes 3 grades higher. And they were all old slabs, cracked, trimmed up, doctored, and put in new slabs. But you can't hide stuff from on the internet. And that was a big scandal. And you'd think PWCC would learn and kind of, you know, when you think, you know, people are forgetting and putting that on the back burner, this comes up. And
well, you think PSA would take a hit too, but nobody cares.
Who cares? And that's another discussion point, another topic I want to talk about.
Yeah. So what do you think? Is this the end for PWCC? I mean, are they the next Maestro auction?
Well, they're trying to backtrack now and call defamation of character towards eBay right now. And this
Really?
missive they sent out, a missive was sent out that they're going to do an in-house investigation, that they're blaming it on employees,
Mhm.
and that they're also going to file for defamation towards eBay because that is sullying their reputation. But I have a problem with that excuse because, for one, why would any employee, what do they have to gain by show bidding? It's not like they're working off commission.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's what I
what do
was
they
gonna
have to gain? So that's a weird excuse for PWC to use that tactic. And now they're gonna look to maybe throw a few employees under the bus and try to come off scot-free like that. Like, we didn't know anything. It was these guys.
Little guy.
And right, maybe hire someone new. Here, you're gonna take the fall for this, and hopefully we could save our business. Like, that's just weird.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're right. It seems like, PSA does seem bulletproof, but they're not really tied up to, I get, some people, us, we know about the snipe bids, and there's actual websites for sniping and stuff of that nature. And I purposely don't bid till the last couple minutes. You can't make every auction, but because of show bidding, I can't put in a bid 3 days out because I know my top numbers always gonna be hit. That's how I always felt. That's how it's always been. James on the regular tells me, bro, I've been outbidded again. It's very frustrating. And this has been something, when there's smoke, there's fire. We've been talking about this in the hobby for a while. We're like, oh, they're show bidding. I mean, there's a term for show bidding. I mean, it's a definition. And
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, eBay has all the analytics. They would have a good idea where those bids are coming from. But I can tell you, I was bidding on one of their auctions not that long ago, and I mean, within the last seconds, the price tripled.
You want to talk about the mantle? You want to talk about the mantle, James?
And that price is totally different than where it was a second ago. Once it ends.
Yeah, Lou is referring to a 56 mantle, which I bid on recently. And it was at a low number where I thought there was a possibility I could win this one. And I put a comparable amount. It was a little bit under, because I always try to get a card 80%, but certain cards you just can't. You got to pay comp price. And when you're putting in a comp bid for some of these cards, and still, like you said, John, they're going above and beyond what a comp is, that's when you're starting to wonder, are these idiots, or is it shill bidding just trying to get the max? Because what do they have to gain? They're getting their commission. They're getting their 4, 5, 10% out of the consigner, so of the sale. And of course, they're going to try to shill bid as high as they can so they could get their percentage up.
Plus, they want to show that their auctions sell for above the going rate, so more people want to consign with them, right?
Of course.
I mean, that's the way this works. I've seen it in the past, where it seemed to me, and I'm not talking about PWCC at this point, but other sellers, and something you might look out for. I see where, like at the very end, the bid goes up and I get outbid. And then the next thing I know, I get a message asking me, telling me I have a second chance offer because the first bidder backed out. Now, that first bidder didn't back out. Somebody was shilling that up, trying to get as much out of it as they could. And then if they outbid you, they just send you a second chance offer, make it look like they're doing you a favor.
And then I've gotten those offers also, and I never take them. Why? Because I'm like, I was bid to this point by the shill bidder, meaning I should have had that at even lower. Because a lot lower. So why am I still going to take that second chance offer?
Yeah, I don't take them either. It's just a matter of principle because I know I'm being duped.
Right. And then it pisses me off when you also see an item that you lost out on. It goes back up like a week or two later, and you're like, what the heck happened? And that's another sign that is shill bid. And then usually it's someone like PWCC that puts it back up. And I've even called them. Like, this one just sold like 2 weeks ago. How is it back up? Oh, the seller didn't, I mean, the bidder that won, he didn't pay. So we had to put it back up. And sure enough, it goes for almost the same amount as what the winning bid was previously. So
Yeah,
they still bid that one.
yeah, I think they shill it, like they try to get to $2, and if it misses out,
Yes, yeah.
so be it. They just relist it. I mean, I've always suspected that. I don't know that.
So here's a question. I guess in this term, I always like the term "one hand washes the other" in a positive way. One hand washes the other. But in this case, PWCC is one of the top dogs, one of the 800-pound gorillas in the room. They're huge on eBay, but they're not the only ones. And this practice has been, in my opinion, they're not the only ones shill bidding. If you guys catch my drift, what is going to be the positive ramifications on PWCC getting called out? Also, how is this going to affect the market in cards? I mean, because the thing is, they said when some of the new guys they see a mantle, they get shill bid, they'll take those second offers, or they'll keep on bidding till they get that mantle, and they're setting new comps. I mean, you've seen how it is at card shows or videos if you haven't been to a card show, where some of these kids don't negotiate. They just pay the sticker, or they go first thing they do. What are the comps? What are the comps? And if that card, it doesn't matter where it's from, it's just eBay, PWCC, or whatever other auction houses on eBay. They're just looking at that last number, what it did last week, and it's usually 20% more the following week.
Right.
Are these numbers gotten so astronomical? Are these prices coming back down, in your opinion? And is it going to correct other auction houses and eBay saying, "Oh, whoa, maybe we should backtrack and rethink what we do, or slow it down, or tell these employees," I'm trying to air quote, stop show bidding these cards?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna start it off, and then I guess you could answer afterwards,
Go
John.
ahead, homie. Go ahead.
I think you'll see a little correction, only because now other big companies, I'm not saying Probstein does it, but other ones like Probstein that consign, they might second guess whether they're gonna do that and follow the same path that others have taken now that they've seen people are getting burnt. But there might be a correction, which helps buyers and collectors, people like John and I who like to buy some of these big cards sometimes. It's going to help us. But at the same time, it's like our trust is, once again, if it's not Slabgate, now it's Shillgate. Like, it's our confidence starts to get fractured even more. And it like makes us take a step back, because greed is ultimately always messing things up for this hobby. And it's frustrating. I don't know.
There's still collectors who don't buy from PWCC from 2019 and 2018 from the trimming.
Right. They're so pissed off. But I'm going to still collect. But there was a time for about a year where I only bought cards from people who put up best offers. And I try to work out a deal with them. And if the starting price of the card was around comp and they still were accepting best offers, then I try to get them at 80%. And I would try to get a steal that way. But at least I'm dealing with a person instead of a company. And a company that's looking to make as much as they can and working off of greed as their modus operandi and whatnot. But
hey, John, I'll let you speak, but I just want to answer my boy Rudog 21. He had a question. I don't think it will change the market, maybe for higher end cards like vintage. So he's saying it's just going to affect the top end. Now, if you're a John Mangini or James Elite Hunter, that might be true, because these guys just go for the top end. I'm kidding, baby. I know you like your 88 score, John, but
I do.
in my opinion, I'm a military man. Everything trickles down. Chain of command, everything trickles down. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. One of the best legendary cards of all time. Everything trickles down. So, cats who can't afford the monster rookies, they go for the Gold Cups. The people who can't afford the Gold Cups go for the third, fourth, fifth year cards. There is a trickle down effect. It might not be immediate, but I think it will affect it in a positive way. I don't know when or for how long, but it's just like when my kids get in trouble. their behavior changes, even if it's for a week, their room will be clean. If they got punished, their room will be clean for a week. You know, it's like, and then once you take your boot off their neck and it's like not so strict, then they'll start bringing in a paper plate and a cup, and then it happens again. But I think there might be some rapid changes for the bigger companies. So I think we will see something positive. What do you think, John?
Well, I agree with my fellow Roberto Clemente collector there, Rudog. I don't think it'll have a whole lot of effect. James, to your point, I mean, it could affect comps in a little bit if other shillers are also now gonna slow that down and cards sell for a little bit less. But I don't think it's gonna be in a big way. We've seen that we've been down this road before.
Yeah.
And it didn't affect PSA or PWCC last time. And quite honestly, with the collecting boom now, half these new collectors weren't even in the hobby when that PSA scandal hit, and they probably don't even know about it, that there was a PSA scandal, and they were caught grading trimmed cards. I've made several videos about it, talked about it on live streams, and I've been very opinionated about grading and PSA in general, but you just get a lot of hate if you talk anything about PSA, anything
negative.
Out where they ripped people off. You can't even point that out. Or they were caught grading a trimmed Honus Wagner T206. Stuff like that. Yeah, you can't even point that out without getting backlash. But those are just the facts.
Yeah, you're correct about that. In my Facebook, I'm in several baseball card groups. And on several occasions, which was surprising to me, is like there was a couple people saying, "Who the hell is PWCC?" Like they're either just buying cards and not looking who they're buying from, because it's just one of those buy it nows or bid and then hit PayPal, and that's pretty much all you gotta do because everything's pretty much automated. But yeah, I was like, how do you not know who PWCC
on eBay? You have to know who they are. I mean, their cards are all, especially if you collect vintage.
Right, and then sometimes what sucks is PWCC, most of the time they have the high-end cards that you don't find ordinarily. So if you're looking for a Honus Wagner or Cy Young, sometimes you're a slave to buy whatever it is that you find from PWCC because nobody else is listing anything, or they're listing it for like an astronomical, ungodly amount that you're like, I'm not paying double of what the comps are. I'll wait till another one comes up for bid, which is through PWCC, but then you got to deal with this idiocy that's going on with show bidding, and then you don't get it anyway. It's like fool's gold where you thought you might have had a chance. You're hoping you could snipe one, but it's just a mirage because they're doing what they're doing. They're practicing what they practice.
Very frustrating.
And I mean, like, if you're shopping for an Acuna bat down card, there's 24,000 of them, right?
Yes.
But the cards that PWCC sells, and a lot of the ones you're talking about, James, you don't find these every day. You don't find these listed every week on eBay. You don't have a lot of choices, and so yeah, those are nice and juicy, and you want to bid on them. I brought up the T206 Wagner that just set a new record today, right? Over 6 million.
6.6, yeah.
And you know what? I'm so thrilled that a vintage card took over the modern card. You know what I mean? I guess the mantle that sold for 5 million broke the Mike Trout record, but 6.6 million, that's the new record, right?
Oh,
yeah.
And my wife was like, I can't believe a baseball card, I don't care how rare it is, went for 6.6 million. And you know what I told her? I'm like, boo, if I had 6.7, that card would be mine.
No,
I just told my wife that's my one dream card. Like if I had unlimited money or I could afford that.
And that card would be $1. That card would go for $1.
What?
$1. That's how much you'd pay for that card.
Oh yeah.
Right, $1. That's how much all cards go for.
Hey, take your ugly mug off. Show the.
My wife's talking about that thing you sent me, Lou. That it says my biggest fear in life is after I die, my wife sells my cards for what I told her I paid for them. That's why she's saying
I love that meme.
$5.
I told my wife I'll hunt her from the grave. I will haunt you, Casper style.
Yeah, but there's The one that sold was a 3. At the National, there was a 5 that sold privately, and they didn't want to disclose what that transaction amount was because they feared it would mess with the current auction. So they asked for them not to disclose that amount. So that 5 that sold is the highest graded Honus Wagner.
It's got to be a $20 million card, right?
Who knows? They're gonna disclose it at some point now that the 3 sold. So who knows if it sold for 20 mil or 5 mil and he got a deal?
Yeah,
when you're private, but now, with the 6.6 out, whoever owns that card, if they decide, it's got to be a $20 million card. You know what I'm saying?
Now it is, but who knows what it sold for back then?
Graded, that's got to be worth a lot more. And I'll tell you this: if any T206, you're not going to find them above a 5 legitimately. They didn't come out of the pack 7s.
Yeah.
Right.
PWCC card.
Question: if you see a really high graded T206, you have to question it.
Yeah, it's easy to track the history of that card. Has it ever been in the hands of Scissorhands? Has it been a PWCC card? That's why.
Oh wow.
Real talk.
It's SGC graded, I think. So it wasn't. There's no handshake agreement with PSA.
Go SGC all day, baby, for the old school. Okay, so here's my thing. I guess we kind of answered it, but now the inmates are going to run the asylum. PWCC with all this, I heard somewhere, 4 to 6 weeks, they're going to have a new platform, their own site, their own auction site. I don't know. There's no oversight. They're going to be, it's kind of like my fear of PSA and golden auctions. Who's going to restrict this or, regulate anything now? If PWCC has an auction site, their own website, their own app on the phone, who's gonna, it's late in the game, but at least eBay came out and did something, They're like, hey, we saw this, you guys are gonna be punished. And PWCC's answer is, peace out, I'm taking my ball and going home. How can you trust a company who has shown they don't care as long as at the end of the day they're getting paid? The Slabgate, now Shillgate, what's next?
Well, I have to commend eBay for doing something, because I've long been critical that they don't do enough.
Yes.
There's a lot of just a lot of unscrupulous stuff on there. Years ago, I used to write to them and point out like obvious fakes that people were trying to rip people off, and I would report these cards. I actually wrote an article for Sports Collectors Digest back in 2003-ish. And this same stuff was going on then. And my article was all about, what to be careful for when you're buying on eBay. And it's like the same stuff that was going on then is going on now. So we've come these years and it's not much different. The only thing that's different now is there's way more graded cards. Back then there were still most people were still buying raw cards, and these guys would go on there and my uncle found this in the attic. My aunt gave me this and she doesn't know what it's worth. And I'm
John, could you go like this? Could you do that for a second?
Could I do what?
Put your pinky to your mouth like this.
Oh yeah.
Because you got the cat.
Well, how about The Godfather?
Oh, okay. That's a little bit cooler. That's a little bit cooler. He's like a super villain, bro. The black shirt, the shiny, aerodynamic haircut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, my cat, when I'm in my card room, he gets jealous that I'm paying attention to cards and not him. So he'll dig at the carpet trying to get in if the door's closed. So I have to let him in.
Yeah, all I have to say is people need to educate themselves. And hopefully, if you're new to the hobby and you have money to throw at a collection that you want to start, or you want to get into investing and flipping, just educate yourself and show restraint, show patience, look at what comps are, and don't just throw money at something, because you might regret it afterwards that you overpaid by 25% because these companies show bid you up, or you think you're going to set a new market like the market corrects itself so many times and you're left holding the bag on a card that won't even sell near what you paid for it.
Yeah, and people, I don't know what it is. They try so hard to find that, once in a lifetime deal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you're, the 1933 Babe Ruth, they sell the reprinted autographs, right? So I saw somebody on Facebook's legitimately asking other collectors if it was a good deal and if we thought this card was real. And it was that reprinted autograph card that somebody's selling for $600. Well, who in their right mind would sell that for $600 if it was real, right? And if you have an autographed 33 Babe Ruth, even though I'm not a big grading fan, you're gonna get that slabbed because that's where you're gonna get the big money.
Yes.
So even if you don't personally like graded cards, you're gonna get it graded if you plan on selling it. And so it's scary and it's worrisome that people, and that's not the only one. I mean, I saw a slew of them on these Facebook groups, like back to back to back. And it's like, come on, man. Yeah. I mean, if it's good to be true.
Exactly. You beat me to it.
I mean, use some common sense. And it's kind of annoying when you are in these groups too.
It is.
It's stupid space and you have to answer these questions. How much is this worth? Is this real? And the worst ones are, what do you think this will grade? Like, send it in. You'll find out. Why are you asking us from a picture?
No, the worst one is, hey, I just hit this. It's a dream card. How much can I get for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what
my buddy has this. And yeah. When you're a collector, you've been around all these years and you're educated, but these things like with PWCC and all these kinds of scandals, I think the best thing that comes from it is just education, because until you live through it, you don't see these things. It's kind of like a stock market crash. If you don't live through a crash, you're too exuberant and you're not careful enough. So you're buying at the top, and when that crash comes, you're devastated because you weren't defensive enough. You never lived through a crash. You never felt that pain. And so you kind of need that in the hobby to keep everything more even keel and to, protect yourself.
That's what we call, it's like I tried to explain to my son, life won't always be easy, but that's how you gain wisdom. As much as I tell you I'm blue in the face, I've been through it. I've done it. I'm trying to give you a little knowledge, but he already knows it. But that's how they learn. They got fall a couple times, and there's the ebbs and flows,
When people will ask me if I have any regrets in life, I don't, because I learned something from every what might be considered bad experience, right? Somebody told me a long time ago, this businessman told me a long time ago, he said, you always remember what cost you time and what cost you money. And the things that cost you money, you'll remember twice as long.
I like that. My man, Levon, is a conspiracy theorist. He's like, I don't commend eBay. This has been going on forever, which is true. It's been speculated. We've been talking about it. All of a sudden, eBay cares. He's saying it is likely that eBay is under investigation for something, and they use PWCC as an example. I don't
know.
I don't know what to say about that. But the thing is, something happened. They did. I don't know. Maybe someone brought it to their attention. There's a lot of sellers on eBay. Maybe someone said, hey, I think you need to check them out. Maybe it was a whistleblower. Maybe it was an employee. And that's why PWCC did say, hey, it wasn't us. It was an employee. And now they're trying to shift.
They have to have some reason. And while I agree with that comment, for the most part, I said it earlier, that eBay, I've always been frustrated that they don't do enough. But I'm just commending them for finally doing something. And there's another old saying, better late than never, I guess. But because those of us who have seen this going on and on and on, you get frustrated that maybe eBay won't step in. And there's certainly way more they can do to police that.
Yeah.
It's true, though. It seems like they're always a little bit late to the game to make adjustments. And a long time ago, the reason why I never used to buy anything on eBay was because there wasn't enough security through for whenever you made payments through PayPal. And I would always get into them because my PayPal account would get infiltrated, and then they get into my account that's linked to it, and they're taking away $5 or $10 every month, and I have to get it back. They pay it back to me eventually, But I'm like, this is the third time. Like, what is wrong with you? Why are you in bed with PayPal to get payments? And obviously, they
Well,
probably made like a 20-year contract that they have to abide by or
no,
something.
I could answer that. eBay bought PayPal. They owned PayPal at one time. They sold it a few years ago, and that's why they accept other payments now.
That makes sense. And they never wanted to tell me that or admit that to me. And I would tell them, I don't want to deal with PayPal anymore. That, like your security sucks with PayPal. Like, I don't understand why you're not suing them for all the money that you got to pay other, buyers back for. And they never gave me any answers, but that makes sense now that you mentioned that.
You're saying somebody took your PayPal account and was charging it monthly?
They would infiltrate whatever credit card or debit card that had linked to PayPal, and they would make some type of monthly installment where I had to pay $5 or $10, and it was so minimal that I would barely see it. And then eventually they get greedy and they'll up it up to $20 and $30. Then next thing you know, I see that my account is lower than it should be by a little bit more than usual. And that's when I pay attention to my statement a little bit more closely. And I'm like, wait a minute, what company is this taking $10 out? When they do their research, Chase would do their research. They'll be like, well, it seems like through PayPal, they're getting you for this. And that's when I call, they investigate through PayPal. They give me my money back, but nothing happens. Like, PayPal continued to do it 3 times on 3 separate occasions. And I was like, I'm done with eBay. I don't want to do anything with eBay.
Well, that would be so easy to miss when you buy a lot of cards, because, people like me, you buy a bunch of $5 cards, there's $3 cards. That'd be easy to not notice.
Right. And then they increase it steadily. They get greedy, and it goes into $20 or $30 a month. And that's when you catch it. But that was a while ago. Then they stopped doing that. I guess their security got ramped up, but it was late in the game, just like they're doing this with the show bidding. Late in the game. They're always late to react and do something about it. It's a shame.
Well, I never had any kind of issue like that, thank God. Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
Well, you're petting a cat. Yeah, you're petting a cat, so people don't want to mess with you.
Wait it out. Hey, I hear what you guys are saying. I know eBay's late to the game, according to some people. Some of my, buddies are saying, but this gives me, you can buy from whoever you want, right? And I like what my man James said. Best offers, buy it now. You don't have to buy from PWCC. And eBay does protect the buyer. I don't sell on eBay, and I know reasons why. I don't sell anything anyways, but if I was going to sell, I will have issues with eBay because they cut a lot. They take a nice little percentage. There's, PayPal. There's a lot of extra costs, shipping, other headaches. And the consumer, the buyer, can send that sucker back for anything. And eBay's going pretty much side with the buyer 99% of the time. I like that as a consumer. And seeing something like this, a little oversight, a little, big brother, if you will, I am more confident in eBay when I'm making a transaction now because, they are coming down on, someone who's probably made them a lot of money, I don't know. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it always worries me. Like, what would happen? Let's say that I bought a $5,000, I don't know, Babe Ruth from you on eBay. And when I get it, I tell eBay that you sent me a $1 card. Would they give the buyer his $5,000 back and he gets to keep the Babe Ruth too? I think they protect the, I guess the buyer maybe too much. And I don't know the answer to that, but when I would sell cards, I always wondered, like, somebody can say that I didn't put the right thing in the envelope and just ask for their money back.
No, they push it to small claims court, I believe, or court for that matter. I think someone had sold a box of cards that was authenticated, that it wasn't searched, and then what the person did who bought it, he had a habit of doing this. He would take out the cards and then claim that it was searched and he wanted his money back. And he would send back the box that he searched with nothing but comments and say, this is what I opened up in the packs. And he would try to keep whatever rookies he found and key cards plus his money. And then you'd have to prove that it wasn't searched. You had it legitimized through the company. And you have to fight for your money back, basically. eBay doesn't want to deal with that. And they force you to have to prove yourself in court.
Almost make it a civil matter and not criminal. So just like take it to small claims court.
Right.
But so you're saying eBay wouldn't give them their money back?
No, eBay would probably side, like Lou said, with the buyer. And it seems like that's what they always want to do. They want to make sure the buyer keeps buying through eBay, so they're always going to side with them. But the person who was the seller is the one that has to now prove that he wasn't, scheming.
There's no way you can prove that you put that card in that envelope and sent it. There's no way to prove that.
I mean, unless you take a video, maybe you take a video of closing it.
Then I could just put it in a different envelope or something, or take it out.
I mean, to cover yourself, if you want to go to those lengths, you could go to the post office and seal it right in front of the clerk or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but who's going to do that? Come on.
Right.
Yeah, there's scumbags in every hobby. I mean, there's people before, you couldn't find cards in the retail. I remember, when I had my little one, Bob, we went to Walmart. I was like, baby, pick out a blaster. She picked out a blaster. We got home and she's like, Daddy, this one's open. Like, it was legit. I thought I just let her pick one. We went through the line. I didn't inspect it. It was a damn blaster. It was a $20 blaster. And we start opening it. I wish I kept the video because I didn't upload. I was so mad I didn't want to upload it. Whoever bought it prior to me made a little slit and scotch taped the bottom and opened up every it was like a Topps product, and I was finding Panini and Donruss because I'm like, hey, that's weird. This guy doesn't have a logo. And my little one was like, Daddy, what's the matter? These cards are like, these packs are already ripped or open. And I'm like, I was so mad. I went to Wally World and I'm like, look, this has been searched. They're just like, all right, yeah, people bring boxes all the time. I'm like, what? Open? Not supposed to do that. She just let me get another blaster. I'm like, I'm not resealing this. Just throw them out. It was just comment like $20. People were scamming.
Yeah, at Target with $9 packs, and man, you couldn't tell they were open. It wasn't like they put Scotch tape. They looked legit. And I opened it up, and it's all 80s and 90s junk wax.
They got you too, bro. They got you too, John.
Yeah.
See, even the great.
What kind of person goes to Target and replaces? It was like this. It was like a Babe Ruth pack. Like, it wasn't even a pack where you would get an expensive card out of.
But it wasn't worth your time to search the pack, right? It's not even worth it. It's a $9 pack. That's what I'm saying. It's a blaster. Why would I search a blaster?
I think they actually bought the packs, went home, did this, and then returned them.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Like, how do you return a pack of baseball cards?
That's exactly.
I mean, there's some really interesting people out there. I'm really interesting.
Yeah, hoping to get a hit. They get whatever rookie or hit, and then go back and get their $9 back. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I'm very curious with either one of you two. Have you ever won anything from PWCC within the last year?
No, I after Slabgate, I didn't really mess with them too much.
I haven't won any. I always get outbid, but I took advantage of some of their buy it nows.
Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't won anything from PWCC in over a year. And that makes sense. And I did, prior to the pandemic, I used to win several cards from PWCC. Like, I think my Babe Ruth I won from PWCC. And I got it for a fair price under comps. So I think around January or February of 2020, there wasn't that much shill. If there was, not as much. And then it seems like after February or March, That's when I just couldn't win anything from PWCC at any point anymore.
I have to tell you, ever since I got back in the hobby in 2014, early on, I've noticed from PWCC that I could go buy the cards cheaper. That they always seem to go, get bid up. I noticed that very early on. That's why I tend to just skip over their auctions and not bid on their stuff, because it's just frustrating. You're going to get outbid or have to overpay. Yeah. So I would just stay clear. When I would see them put up a buy it now at a fair price, I'd get excited because I just buy it.
My man Snoop, YouTube Hall of Famer, got some royalty.
Snoop.
See, I don't know. I'm not a seller. I always hear people complain and complain for keep it PG about the fees and how much eBay takes. Man, Snoop must have experience. He says eBay fees aren't really that bad. Try selling through a traditional auction house, which I know is like 30% for the premiums, which is dead on. So eBay is still a better option. It's just, at least with the auction house, I feel like you're more protected. The buyer's going to get the card. He can't say diddly squat about, hey, I didn't get the right card, or the slab is cracked or scratched. So, I mean, you get what you pay for. It's what I always try to tell my kid. It's good to be frugal, but you get what you pay for.
Now, those auction house 30% buyer's premium, I haven't seen any like that. I want to know which one is 30%.
Yeah. Well, the big auction houses, with the big cards or big items, you pay a buyer's premium.
No, yeah, I've won a few from auction houses, but not at 30%. I think I remember 10 to 15%.
15 sounds about right to me.
Right, but 30, that's wow.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
My man near me always has the right questions to ask. What would Jabs do? WWJD. What would Jabs do? My man. You guys, I don't know if you guys noticed. I'm trying to be more professional. I'm trying to, I'm putting little banners up here. I'm trying to hit the chat. I'm trying to pay attention, because sometimes when I'm with my homies, I forget that we're actually in the YouTube universe. I just damn FaceTiming. All right, so Snoop just started following your channel, really enjoying it. All right, Don, my man Don. Yeah, Snoop's the man. He came out with another great episode. Seems like John's on everyone's top 10. I feel like I gotta do.
Oh, I almost forgot. We got Mr. Top 10 over here. Oh my Lord, we're graced by his presence.
Oh yeah.
Always busting my chops.
Well, I can't shoot. Wait till September, bro. So you're good for September?
And I'm going to Tampa. I gotta get that hotel booked.
All right. And that one's literally down the street from me, so we could.
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't been to a card show in decades.
Oh, this one's a big one. I'm already seeing it pop up on YouTube. Like some of the, young content creators with the shops. Millie Pops, Santiago Sports. They're all gonna be down there, and it's gonna be a little bit different because Redbeard, he's big in the comic game down here, so it's gonna be like a lot of comics and stuff of that nature. But I mean, it's 400 to 500 tables and a lot of sports cards, a lot of vintage. It's gonna be pretty good, and it's right there on the water. So
wait, but
vintage? Is there gonna be vintage?
There's gonna be vintage.
That's what I'm hoping for. But okay, you're saying 400 to 500 tables altogether, or just cards?
No, I think altogether.
Altogether?
Yeah.
So what's the percentage of trading cards?
I don't know.
They don't specify?
They just said 400 to 500 tables. I mean, the main thing is sports cards, but they're saying there's going to be, because he's always dreamt of, because he does a big Comic Con down here in Tampa, and he always wanted to do like a mashup because it's pretty popular down here. So, but the convention center is beautiful. It's right there on the river. So right in downtown Tampa. So
there's
always love Tampa.
There's another Dallas card show coming up, which I'm more than likely not gonna really do the show because I'm still suffering from withdrawal from the national. But I am invited to another sit down with Dr. Beckett. So
Your best friend right there, homie.
he invited me once again. So I'm gonna hang out. And is there any questions you think I should ask him? Obviously, there could be a little PWCC topic there.
Definitely.
What do you think I should ask him? Any knowledge you want me to expound out there because you guys wanna maybe ask something?
Man,
I mean,
I'm sure there's something, but you can't put me on the spot. I got like deer in the headlights.
you got to let us. Yeah, you have to let us think about that one, James.
That's deep. I'll text you later after I have a bourbon or something when the juices are flowing.
Okay, I was gonna ask him one question so far I have in my mind.
Okay.
And I was gonna ask him about investment. Why is that word has such a bad stigma attached to it by collectors? Because in the end, I myself am a collector, 95 to 99%. I don't sell anything. I traded a few cards off at the National, but that was mainly not to come out of pocket so much with cards I wanted to own. But that word investor, I consider myself an investor in cards. Why? Because I invest so much time into it, so much energy. Look at what I'm doing right now. This is my free time, and I'm spending it talking about card companies and cards and the climate. So that word investor or investment in cards, I think has such a bad stigma to it. I wanted to ask the room's perspective on that word and his opinion on it. What do you think? That's a good question.
It is. It's a good question. I don't know. It shouldn't really have a bad connotation. We invest time, right? You invest a lot of time and energy in your collection, a lot of searching. And I mean, when you're paying what you pay for your cards, you want to know that if you had to sell them, you needed the money, you could sell them, or your loved ones are going to inherit something that's worth something.
Exactly.
Investment as a bad term. I mean, I don't view it the same way as flipper.
But that's how it's viewed as.
Yeah, you beat me to it because I think it's gotten twisted because as a collector and hobbyist, I've always wanted, or the plan was always to somehow pass down my collection to my kids. I always say I'm going to haunt them from the grave if they sell it, but it's for them. They could use it for the future. They could do whatever they want with it. So in a way, it is an investment. I'm thinking of the future. You don't want to buy something and then, it's like a car. You buy a car, it's already 20% down once you take it off the lot. You don't want it to depreciate. You want it to know that it means something, it is worth something. I think it got twisted like in the last 2 years where you have all these young kids who are spending an exorbitant amount of money, and to make a negative into a positive, like, oh, this $5,000 I just bought on this Trae Young, that's an investment. This money is hopefully going to make me more money instead of, it's really flipping. You buy something and you're just getting rid of it, because when I think of investment, I'm thinking more long term. I'm not thinking, 20% in a week, I'm going to sell it and drop it and then go on to the next thing. So I think it's been tied to flipping when it shouldn't be.
Yeah,
right.
My cards, I will probably donate them to I don't know if
to elite hunters.
Maybe if a museum wanted them, or I might do some sort of a charitable gift where I line it up where they're sold and the money's donated to something like that.
The poor Hispanic fund of Tampa.
Pass them down to that wants them. So other than James.
Whoa, what just happened here?
I don't know whose video. Someone after the National went to Cooperstown. I wish I remember who it was. But I think Cooperstown now, which I'm hoping to go, I haven't been since I was a kid. I want to go back, take my kids, especially Bob. But I think Cooperstown has a wing now of just baseball cards and the history of baseball cards.
Baseball card museum, and they stole a lot of my ideas. They obviously didn't steal them, but they did a lot of my ideas that I was thinking that I wanted to do.
It's like,
and I'm like, darn, I waited too long.
Yeah, it's called like Shoebox Histories or Shoebox Legends or something. Whatever that wing is, I'm like, what a great idea, you know?
So I was talking to Reese, Card Ranger ND, and he wants to go up, and I told him I'd go with him. That'd be a fun trip. We should get a bunch of us YouTubers and take a trip up there.
Yes.
Could you imagine all of us heading out to Cooperstown or something?
Okay,
like,
so Atlantic City.
I've never been there. We have like card shops on that main street, right?
I can't believe I thought I was bad because I haven't been since a kid, but bro, you know how, of course, everything's filled with dreams. I can see you walking in there, like, is this heaven? No, this is.
I've just never made the effort to actually go, and I need to go. And
well,
I'm good.
What's the drive like? If we rented a car from Atlantic City, I know Cooperstown is way north in New York, but
yeah, it's way up there. And
10 hours from
Atlantic City, maybe 5 to 6 hours.
See, so 5-6 hour drive, bro. Light bulb.
Yeah, I mean, we could take.
How many days do we need to be in the National? I think we need to be there for the YouTube.
Let's get one of those fancy motor coaches and get all the YouTubers on there. A party bus,
a liquor bus. Oh, I mean a party bus. Yeah,
a card store, card shows. You know,
the one with the stripper pole in the middle. That bus.
Well, I don't know what you're planning on wearing, James.
I'll bring dollar bills, though. I'll bring dollar bills.
Not me. Just entertainment. What the hell?
Okay.
You know what? I guarantee you, Pepino would get on that pole.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Ooh, he'll bring the butter. He'll bring the butter.
You should ask Mr. Beckett what he thinks of PIG grading.
Ooh.
Okay.
So look, I'm horrible. I'm the type of guy, you know, my wife plans, I just show up to the party. So whoever wants to plan that, I'm down. A nice little trip to Cooperstown will be fabulous.
Okay, I'm gonna plan it.
Hey, I've been dying to do they have a white glove VIP tour. They only do it certain times of the year. So it could be hit and miss, but bro, I've seen videos. You can probably type into YouTube. Exactly. But they're picking up like jerseys, and I mean, they talk about the climate control, the lighting, the glass that's protected, because some of these jerseys are so fragile, but they let you pick it up.
Hey, you hit on a great topic for us to discuss.
Oh,
I give myself a miniature version of the white glove tour all the time when I'm in my card room. But you hit on something that's interesting.
What's that, bro?
Are you aware that the Baseball Museum will not accept graded cards or have the cards graded because they don't know the long-term archival effects of how the slabs affect the cards?
Yeah, they have no idea about the plastic and what it will do to the paper or the picture, and they refuse to use those graded cards for that reason, and they won't case their stuff.
You know, everybody, whenever I, talk about grading, everybody always says, well, I just want the card protected. Yeah. Wouldn't it be ironic if it ended up doing the opposite?
Can you imagine those? Oh, the jacket, the history that would be gone. Oh, it hurts my heart. Oh,
it would be heartbreaking. If all those slab cards got, something happened to them over a long period of time.
Hey, my man Alan's cards is correct. My man Ticket Leprechaun is ahead of the game. My man will crack out. He don't care the number. He will crack that slab. He likes his cards raw. He likes to feel the card.
I got a news flash. Yankees won.
Oh yeah.
So we're over the Red Sox right now.
Yeah, it's beautiful. They swept the doubleheader. So amen to that. All right.
Yeah, the Yankees don't have enough championships. You need more.
I'm sorry. You can't talk. He's a Pirates fan, man. You can't do it.
Well, we're one of your farm teams. The Pirates are one of your farm teams, so you should thank us.
Yeah, they were saying that about the Rays for a long time.
We're a Tampa Bay Farms team too.
Yeah, yeah. Boz, who is it? Shane Boz. He's in, I guess their farm right now. He was part of that Glass now and Austin Meadows, their guy. And he was pitching for Team USA, lights out. They're thinking about bringing him up for the stretch run because the Rays got so much injuries.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, I mean, we're almost at an hour. I got to pick up my daughter. I want to get on real quick, talk about this hot topic with my homies. As always, it's always fun. It's always fun with you guys. So, anything you guys want to add?
I just want to show you guys one of my recent pickups.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
You know what this card is?
Out Oliver.
No, I mean, okay, I'm just going to say it so you can bust my chops. It's rare.
Oh, it's rare? Oh, like a steak. Like a steak.
Okay.
1936 Worldwide Gum Red Roughing.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Beautiful.
There's like, I think there's something like 13, 14 ever graded.
Did you text that to me? Because I know you got this roughing before.
I don't think I sent you this one. I may have. It's really cool batting, and I think he was a good hitting pitcher. So
He was because he came up as I believe an outfielder or so.
Hey, brother.
So these were issued out of Canada, and of course this is before the Expos and the Blue Jays, so Canadians didn't follow baseball much, and so for that reason these weren't like highly kept, and so they're pretty rare.
My heart skipped a beat. I thought you were gonna flip over Joe DiMaggio.
Well, I mean I can, but you have to show me the 52 Mantle first.
It's in the bank.
It's coming out tomorrow because I'm gonna show my collection to an old timer that wants to see the collection. So I'm gonna let him handle the 52 Mantle. And he's an old timer though. He's in his 90s, so he's gonna get a kick out of seeing it. And also he wants to see some of the other ones, Honus Wagner. You know, some of these other cool ones that I have in there. So
hey, Donna's right. You are a name dropper. Hey, you pick that up. You drop that name right there. Pick it up.
My card room, and I love to give tours of it, right? But they don't know what they're looking at. And I get on a roll, and I'll be like, "This is rare, and this is rare, and this is think at this, and this is the only one PSA ever graded." And they don't. Nobody knows what the heck I'm doing. Like after 5 or 10 minutes, they're done. And I'm just getting going.
Yeah, and so they break your momentum. They break your momentum. Like, well, how much is that worth? Or what's the most expensive?
Wait, but how much did you pay for that on PWCC when you bid on it?
No, the one question everybody always asks me, and my wife always tells everybody he won't answer it, is they always want to know what's your most expensive card. And right away, like it just frustrates me. Like that's not what this is about here.
That's not the beauty of it.
Like, I won't answer. I don't even know what my most expensive card is, to be honest. I don't follow. The only time I know what a card is worth when I'm buying it, or if I happen to be selling it, then I'll go on and figure out what it's worth. Other than that, I don't really have a good idea anymore.
Okay, but what's your most prized card? What's your most prized card? Your most prized card. Which is that one?
I mean, I can't even answer. I have so many.
There's not one card that's like your baby. No,
there's actually who's doing that? There's a video response for a VR. Who was it?
The grave card, the one you take with you to your grave.
Card. What is your one casket card? It's a real short response. Man, I have it written down because I want to do it.
I just started to hear that term. I just heard that term recently for the very first time.
Casket card, like the one card that is coming with you, because you know the term. You can't take it with you.
People will do top 10s or my top 50 card. I can't do it. I mean, I can't. I just can't do it. I don't have one favorite card. I don't have a casket card. I mean, honestly, if I had a 52 Mantle, I mean, that wouldn't be my favorite card. And that wouldn't be my casket card either. Although it's so valuable, that's something you want to leave to your loved ones. So
right.
That's such a dad answer. That's such a dad answer. I love you all equally.
I tell my son, I love you, but I don't love you that much. I'm selling this bad boy.
Yeah, I mean, I can't pick 10. I honestly can't.
All right. Well, new developments. Like I said, we're hitting an hour. I wanted to keep it around an hour. I mean, I love you guys, but I gotta go pick up my little one. So Cooperstown YouTube trip is on the way. Atlantic City is definitely happening, and Pepino is going to be on the pole. So am I missing?
Hey.
Oh,
with his
PWCC.
pouch and a Chewbacca mask. Hey, Lou, thank you so much for hosting.
Thank you, Lou, for having us to vent. This was a venting session.
Yeah, it was. We try to educate a little bit, have fun with it.
Let me tell you something. There's going to be 3,000 PWCC videos tonight.
That's why I wanted to put it out there. I wanted to put it out.
Yep. You got to be first to market, baby.
Not just a hat rack, my friend. Not just a hat rack. All right. Peace out.
See you, everyone.